Jambo, I pray that you are doing well wherever you are. This is through Ruth Ombunjuguna, 360 Degrees Holistic Wellness Channel. Just here to have a little discussion that we usually have every once in a while related to wellness. And today we just want to address boundaries and wellness. And when we talk about boundaries, I know it means different things to different people because it depends on the aspect of your life that you really would want to set a boundary on. But let's just say there's this line that is not visible but exists, and you know that no one should cross it. And if someone crosses it, then there's going to be trouble because this is where you know that you can't deal with it anymore. You can't let somebody cross that line. And this line could be or could come in different forms. Could be a physical line. There's a person who stand very close to you and you will feel like they're not respecting your personal space. It could also be emotional. There are those times that people will really get into your nuts and emotionally just drain you, and you feel like this is it, I cannot take anymore. Could be sexual, could be anything basically. So when we talk about boundaries, then I know all of us have boundaries that we set in different areas at different times and for different people. Because you find even in your circle, there are people that sometimes you will be more close to, you will open up to, and there are people that you'll also really not be comfortable talking to or even just opening up to a certain level. So we have different boundaries for different people at different times. And one thing that I have come to realize is that human beings have a tendency of pushing these boundaries. When we allow them sometimes up to a certain extent, they really push these boundaries. And most of the time knowingly, because the way we are generally selfish in nature and we tend to choose ourselves. So for as long as it benefits me, then I can push the boundary. And if I realize that somebody is not doing much about it, then I'll push it a little more and a little more. And before you know it, basically you might not be having your strength to set your boundaries. One thing I want to emphasize it for mental wellness, then these boundaries are very, very important because once we set them, we are able to have our time, we are able to have our space, we are able to also be true to ourselves because these boundaries sometimes are just as simple as saying no, as saying I'm not available. And sometimes when we are starting to set these boundaries, it looks like we are being maybe antisocial or rude or actually not really being considerate. But I have come to realize that people know that this is how far they should go, but they keep pushing them and pushing them. And the more we allow them really just come and cross the boundaries, the more they keep crossing, and the more we get hurt and the more we lose ourselves. So one thing I'd like to encourage you is whatever it is, just ensure that you maintain your boundary. Don't be apologetic about it because it is who you are, it is how you feel, and at the long run people will come to respect you for that boundary. And sometimes even people we stretch boundaries for end up being the ones that hurt us a lot because over time they learn that we are not firm, that we just agree to be pushed left, right, and center. And so they get used to that. And once they get used to that and becomes a way of life, then you actually end up feeling so helpless and so disrespected. So for your sanity, for your well-being, please put your boundaries. And apart from putting your boundaries, communicate your boundaries clearly with a lot of clarity. Let people know, or the people concerned understand that you are not going to treat me this way, that I cannot take this, that if you do this, this is what the consequences is going to be this, or this will happen after you do this. So once we really communicate those boundaries, people tend to respect them. If someone is not comfortable then with the boundaries that you're setting, they have no business being in your life. People that love you, that cherish you, that care about you will actually honor and uphold the boundaries that you set. So for your well-being, for your joy, set boundaries. Have a wonderful time. Continue subscribing to our channel and sharing so that we keep learning and have a boundary filled season. Thank you and God bless you.